Hello. Today we're going to look at Chapter 1 in the textbook, which is about consonants. This is for English 700, and our textbook is called Groundwork for College Reading with Phonics. It's a book with an orange cover, and if you open it up to page 9, you'll find Chapter 1, which is called Phonics 1, Consonants. This is going to go along with the first worksheet of the semester. It's 2 pieces of paper that are stapled, and you'll see that there's quite a bit of content pasted on both sides of each page. So altogether, you've actually got 4 pages of material. So in the classroom, we spent a few days working on this together. And we did a lot of it together in class, and students did part of it for homework. We're going to start with the first section. You'll see that at the top of the worksheet, it's going to say Dr. W. English 700, worksheet for first set of homework exercises, week 1 homework, chapter 1, consonants. And then you'll see that the first item corresponds to material that's found on pages 10 and 11. So, every chapter in this book will have a section at the beginning that's called This Chapter in a Nutshell. So, if you take a quick look at that summary, what it tells you is that it's going to talk about the 26 letters, the 21 of the 26 letters in the English alphabet that are consonants. 15 of the consonants have only one sound when they appear by themselves, so that'll be the first set of consonants we begin to look at. And then there are 6 consonants that have more than one sound. And then there are 3 types of consonant combinations, so we're going to be talking about and learning about that too. Consonant blends, consonant digraphs, and silent consonants. So let's go ahead and look at pages 10 and 11 so that we can start working on the worksheet. So the single consonants that have only one sound, you will see them on page 10 in a box that is sort of lavender colored, and those letters are B, F, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, R, T, V, W, Y, and Z. Okay, so those consonants that have only one sound will be listed at the bottom of page 10 and the top of page 11. And this, you'll notice that this corresponds with what's on our worksheet. So on our worksheet, it says pages 10 to 11, single consonants with only one sound. And we're only going to do the evens, right? So if you look, you'll see we skip B, we do F. We skip H, we do J. We skip K, we do L, and so forth. We're going to do N, we're going to do R, we're going to do V, and we're going to do Y. So we'll start with F, which is at the top of page 11. Okay, so for the letter F, it's one of the consonants that has only one sound. The book gives us a few examples of words that have F. So fan, gift, grief, right? Those are examples. And then there's a space for you to come up with a word of your own that has the letter F in it, right? So when we did this together in class, students came up with words like fun, feel, safe, fine, fall, fill, feet, right? So those were the examples that the other students came up with. So you can either use one of those words, or you can think of another word that we didn't list yet to put on the blank, right? So on the worksheet, you see F, you see fan, gift, ... the other examples, and then there's a blank there, and then you're going to put another word on that blank that has the letter F. Okay. So then the next letter that we're going to look at is J. So the book gives us jab, jaw, banjo. And then when the students and I talked about it, we came up with more examples. Jump, jokes, jungle, job, joy, jelly, right? So you could put one of those words down, or you could think of another word that has a J, starts with a J or has a J in it. So we'll give you those two. Let me just go back because I don't want to change the subject yet. So then you'll see L, and the book gives you lump, delay, and heal. So you want to come up with another word that either starts with an L or has an L in it to put on the blank. Then you look at N. The book gives us neck, unit, lemon, right? You're going to come up with another word that has an N, either starts with an N or has an N, and write that word on the line. Then you're going to look at R. The book gives us the examples rub, carol, deer, right? So now you're going to come up with another word that either starts with R or has an R in it. Same thing for V. The book gives you the examples vine, river, hive. So now you're going to come up with another word that starts with a V or has a V in it and write it on the line. And then the last one is Y. The book gives us yell, yawn, mare, right? So now you're going to come up with a new word, a different word that has a Y in it, right, to put on that line. Okay? So those were the consonants that have only one sound. So now the next thing that we're going to begin to look at is the single consonants that have more than one sound. So one of these consonants is C. So you'll see that this sort of on the bottom of page 11, that's where that subtopic begins. The following consonants that have more than one sound. The first one is C, and then there are some others, G, D, Q, S, and X. We're going to work on C. So we're going to start by thinking about the soft sound of C, which is like an S. So usually when C follows E, I, and Y, you'll get that soft sound of C, like in the words cell, city, cereal, and you'll see that those examples are in our book on the bottom of page 11. Also, ace, citrus, century. And then the words bicycle and circus are interesting because bicycle has a soft C and a hard C, and circus also has a soft C and a hard C. All right, so if you look at the worksheet, sounds of C, so this is the second set of questions on the worksheet where it says pages 11 to 12, single consonant with more than one sound. 1. Sounds of C. When followed by E, I, or Y, you get a soft sound like S. See the examples below. Then provide another word that contains a soft C sound in the blank. Cell, circus, city. Then you come up with a new word that has a C, a soft sound of C, to put on that line. Okay? And then now we're going to look at the hard sound of C. So the hard sound of C is like can, cub, actor, and then in circus, that second C, or bicycle, the second C, car, corn, active, carbon, and carve. So on the worksheet, in that section that has to do with the soft and the hard sound of C, you'll see number 2, hard sound of C. And then they give the examples can, cub, actor, and then there's a line there. So you need to come up with another word that has that hard sound of C to list there, right? All right, so now let's move on to the next thing. So page 12 in the book, you'll see something called Practice 1. And in the book, if we were going to do this in the book, it says use a check mark to show whether the bold-faced C in each word has the soft sound, like an S, or the hard sound, like a K of C. So You'll see on the worksheet it says page 12, practice 1, show whether soft sound like S or hard sound like K, and to put a check mark. So look at the word care, right? So care, that's a hard sound like K. So you'll see to the right of care, there's 2 lines. One is under the heading soft S and the other is under the heading hard K. So because care has the hard sound, you're going to put the check mark on the line that's more to the right because it's a hard sound like K. Custom, that's a hard sound of C. So again, you're going to put the check mark on the second line under hard for the K sound, right? And then for postcard, you'll decide which line to check off. For record, decide which line to check off. And then decent, you decide whether that's soft or hard, and you'll check off appropriately, okay? I'm going to pause this here and then make a second video for part 2.